World of action thrillers, there's none bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie's rise has been truly extraordinary. Who'd have thought an impoverished Austrian bodybuilder, once famously described as looking like a condom full of walnuts, could end up an American icon? Well, Arnie, actually, he always knew he could do it. But it's not just confidence Arnie's been blessed with. As I discovered, he's also one very cheeky man.
Being on 60 Minutes in Australia, where the whole entire nation will see this interview, this is heaven. This is perfect.
Do you feel you've made it?
I've finally made it. It's incredible. How lucky I am.
For Arnold Schwarzenegger, there was never any doubt that he'd make it.
May I see your invitation, please?
Sure. Here's my invitation.
It's the result of careful planning.
Press the button for the top floor, please.
Which began when he was a little boy growing up in Austria.
When I grew up, it was very little money around. It was kind of like poverty. But even though we didn't have anything material, we had a lot of love from our parents and a lot of support. And that is the important thing. I think my upbringing was better in a way than a lot of kids have today, because it gave me that foundation, the strength and the will to know that I can make it, that anything I want to accomplish, I can accomplish.
What were your goals, Arnold, though, as a kid? Because they were pretty clear-cut from what I read.
I had my dreams. You know, I go to movies and I will see, Kirk Douglas on the screen and Richard Burton and John Wayne and all those guys, and I was saying to myself, I want to be like that.
You want to be a movie star?
I want to be a movie star, and I want to make this kind of money that those guys are making. And so it's a dream. Many kids had this dream.
But Arnold was nothing like the other kids. By the time he was 10 years old, he'd already worked out what he needed to do to become rich and famous.
I remember one time the magazine store, and there I saw a magazine with a cover of a man with his hands on the waist. His shoulders were broad, and he was very muscular, and it said underneath, Reg Park, Mr. Universe, now makes Hercules movie. And basically that's what inspired me to become, to get involved in bodybuilding. Because I said to myself, well, here's maybe my ticket to success. You get a body like a world champion bodybuilder, you win Mr. Universe, and then like this guy, I'm gonna get into movies and become a Hercules star. And there I can make millions of dollars. Maybe bodybuilding is my ticket to America.
So Schwarzenegger started training 5 hours a day. He thought that by building himself a better body, he could build himself a better life. But his mother needed a little convincing.
And my mother finally went to our house doctor. And she said, you got to help him because there's something wrong with my son.
What, up here?
Exactly, up here, exactly. She told him, he says, you see, doctor, my son has pictures right above the wall there where he sleeps. The whole wall is covered with male bodies that are oiled up with little tiny trunks on. And all his friends have Playboy bunnies on the wall. What is going wrong here with my son? And finally the doctor, when he talked to me, he then calmed her down afterwards and says, look, I talked to your son is motivated. He takes this seriously, and he finally calmed her down that she got off my back, because, I mean, she was like bothering me with all this stuff.
Well, that's what mothers are like, aren't
That's
they?
exactly right. Yeah, we were laughing about it, for many years after that.
Arnold certainly had the last laugh.
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Winning a world record 7 Mr. Olympia titles before retiring from the sport.
And I would like to announce officially that I'm retiring from bodybuilding competitions. I would like to thank you all for supporting me. I only stopped competing, but I'm not stopping bodybuilding. It's the greatest sport. Thank you.
Arnold, in the past you've spoken about using steroids. To be the very best, was that the price you had to pay?
I think that you try to experiment with everything that you can. If you're in a competitive arena and you know that other people are taking certain things, then you better take it too. So it helped you a little bit, and it definitely was enough that someone doesn't get the edge on you.
If you knew then what you know now, would your mind have been changed?
No, because I think that what I know now is that we took so little and compared what they're taking now, that it really caused no side effects.
Back, step back.
Arnold, dude, behind me.
Back.
For Schwarzenegger, bodybuilding was never just a competition to see who could lift the most.
But you have to realize, people are watching you all the time. They're not
Arnold
watching
saw it as one long screen test to get him ready for the movies.
It was a way of entertaining people, because even in the beginning, it was not for me just the posing. I immediately went to the microphone after every competition and started talking and entertaining the people and doing the whole thing. So when the first time when someone puts a microphone in front of your hand, of course you go like, good evening, everybody. So every time I said a few more sentences, and this is how I worked my way up there, until I felt comfortable in front of anybody.
So bodybuilding was your ticket to acting. You land in the United States, and with the greatest respect to you, with a name like Schwarzenegger, and not a great grasp of the English language, there were a lot of people telling you that you weren't going to make it.
What do you expect they would say? You have an accent? No one is in this country ever made it with an accent, especially not a German accent. And then it is, the name Schwarzen. How do you pronounce it again? Schwarzenschnitzel or whatever. So this is what they would say, and says, those kind of statements motivated me. I said to myself, I will show them.
I've been here thousands of years.
And show them he did. It may not have been his voice.
Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired of the same old faces.
And it certainly wasn't his name. But only 6 months after arriving in America, Arnold was in the movies. He was Hercules in New York.
My name is Hercules.
Hercules, give me the dough.
It doesn't matter to you if they don't use your voice. It doesn't matter that they don't use my name. They use me Arnold Strong and all those kind of things. That didn't matter. I was starring in a Hercules movie. I was so excited. So I called my friends in Austria and I said, hey, guys, all of you, come over here. It's true what they say. Anyone can become a star in Hollywood. So I felt like I was a star already.
Will you put your goddamn dumbbells down with second stage?
Let's go.
Arnold's breakthrough role came in the movie Stay Hungry. It won him the 1976 Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer.
I can't believe you. You really want to win this and you give me this stay hungry horse shit?
I don't know where she is. And even if I did, I still wouldn't tell you.
He was 29 and well on his way to achieving another of his goals, being a millionaire by 30.
I trained myself and studied and educated myself as quickly as possible so I can get into business and then, make my money. So I got into real estate, and that's where I started making actually my first $1 million.
How about marry a Kennedy? Was that a goal?
No. I mean, as a matter of fact, I have to tell you, there were a lot of things that happened in my life that I did not ever dream of.
In 1986, Arnold married Maria Shriver, a niece of American President John F. Kennedy. They now have 4 children. But isn't it astonishing, an Austrian bodybuilder from a life that was surrounded by poverty marries into American political royalty?
Hey, this is the American dream here. This is the land of opportunity. Anyone can come over here, marry a Kennedy, and become a millionaire.
That's the deal, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Only here.
Throughout his career, the trademarks of a Schwarzenegger movie have been action aplenty and plenty of violence. He's been a barbarian called Conan.
Bad idea.
Hunted predators.
Trust me.
But it was his role as the Terminator that made him a bankable star. As Arnold delivered his now famous one-liners,
Hasta la vista, baby.
the film and its sequel delivered in excess of $1 billion at the box office.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
A lot of people say I'll be back and they don't mean it, but it's in the voice, isn't it?
Yeah, but I hope that they never compare me to a lot of people.
Never.
Because I tried very hard in my life to not be like many other people.
I think you've achieved that. Could you actually teach me how to say I'll be back?
Well, you first of all have to lower your voice.
Right.
And then say, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
A little fake, but I mean, do it again.
As you said,
Don't
Arnold.
try so hard. Just very cool.
I'll be back.
Good, very good. There you have it.
Becoming a father, has that changed your outlook on violence in the movies?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I love action movies, and I will continue doing action movies. It is just very important if the action movies are R-rated that we should not market them to young kids. So my kids are not allowed to see the movies that are R-rated. Like, for instance, Collateral Damage. It's an R-rated movie. They're not going to see it. It's that simple.
At one stage, it looked like no one would see Collateral Damage, Schwarzenegger's latest film. In it, he plays a fireman hunting a known terrorist blowing up office towers in America. Due to be released late last year, the movie was pulled because it was thought to be too real after the September 11 attack.
I remember I called in the morning 2 hours after the terrorist attack, and my wife said, you know, I think this is it for your movie. And I said, you know, I think you're right. And I called Warner Brothers, and they said to me, we were just trying to get a hold of you because we want to have a meeting to cancel the movie.
It's ironic in a way that the main character, the role you play, is of a fireman, and reading through the notes, you guys didn't think that character was heroic enough prior to September 11. There was some question marks.
You're absolutely correct. There were people that felt like that the fireman is not heroic enough, and I think that now, after September 11th, I think they're biting themselves in the butt. You know, I mean, how much more heroic can you get?
6 months on, and Collateral Damage is now being released.
So what's the difference between you and I?
I'm just gonna kill you.
But when we caught up with Schwarzenegger, he was already thinking about his next project, Terminator 3, for which he will reportedly be paid a whopping $60 million. And how do the kids feel about having their dad as the Terminator?
They like it. They are very good in saying, I'll be back, and hasta la vista, baby, and all those kind of lines. Now, of course, they're hustling me. Says, can I be in Terminator 3, Daddy? Can I be one of the little kids that is next to you and all those things? I'm getting hustled by my kids.
And what do you say to them?
I say to them, first, let's see some good grades and finish your college and your high school, and then we talk about it.
Schwarzenegger likes to say he was born in Austria, but made in America. Yet, despite all his success, he's still not finished. He can't be president because he was born outside the States, but he can be the next best thing, Governor of California.
I have all the qualifications for it. I have the personality for it. I have the name recognition for it. I have the interest in helping people, which is important, and I have the money behind it. So what is there to stop me?
You can't be president of the United States. Would you settle for Austria?
No, I think that it is better to become governor of California and then buy Austria.